Jumping up for nothing.
6 inch. And that's how miniatures stayed for 10 or 15 years, maybe more. Like a little cottage industry. People built their own until people began to shop. Somebody specialised in building them might be a good idea. And then that took off in the 80s and 90s. General steam lorry. The driving position is not the best, as you can see. Interesting when they go on a road, which a lot of them aren't licensed to go on the road. Maybe 12, 15 miles an hour. It's not that comfortable for a long way.
I'm sorry, I need proof. And as soon as I said that, she jumped up at the other one. The girl just went. She just came back and she just melted back into her leg again. I'm like, seriously? I went.
The details some of these engines have, a lot of them based on Burrells,
the
Burrell engineering was considered to be more simpler than the more complex machines. You can still get the castings and the drawings for these, so if you've got a big shed, you're pretty hands-on, you can go quite cheaply.
I've never seen a belt into somebody like that.
The cheaper than buying from manufacturers. You see those Showman's engines coming in now. Incredible attention to detail there. With the roof going all the way to the end to protect the dynamo. And you can see the twisted brass supports of these Showman's engines. Really magnificent attention to detail, as you'll notice in 10 minutes or so when the big ones come in.
Cadbury's.
was the trouble?
I managed to see a 3 bolts.
3 bolts inside the engine somewhere.
Yep, inside the engine, which goes
Forward.
we'll go forward and go back. I took the vehicle source.
So you took it a bit, found the broken bolt and mended it.
Exactly. That was back in.
But that's it. Are you going to take it apart again and make sure?
Oh yeah, we'll take the back over with
And who built this?
myself.
So you knew who fitted those bolts? Your uncle.
Yep, exactly.
The driving is not good, is it?
No, it's not good. It's a big tree.
First of all, the gentleman said, painted in the colour, light crimson and deep yellow. This engine name, Sophie. And what's your name? Sophie, and is this your engine? Are you waiting to drive it? Do you steer it? Next year. And who built this engine? You didn't build it, you restored it. You got it in bed, put it back together, polish it. Yes. So kids and spaniels can't. They have to go on the engine. They have to go on the engine.
Yeah, it's going to be insane.
First of our big engines, big Chalmers engine, the renowned Fowler, built in 1920. The Howard brothers owned this, hello, the stranger, you, careful. And the colour, not always light crimson. George Shuby's machines always were blue. But this is a splendid engine. You can see the roof going all the way to the end to protect the dynamo. And you see the one behind has listed brass. So the Duchess there, that's a rare Showman's engine. I only know of two in the world. We've got them both here this weekend. First the Duchess, the other one is Samson, which is by our variety stage. A smokestack on the roof there, that's the extension, which had two purposes. It improved the draft for the fire and helped keep the smoke and the smut out of the paying customer's eyes. Good idea now. And here's Samson, two labelling and borders together. Samson spent most of its life on the docks near Gillingham. Heavy pulling, they could pull enormous loads from a standing position. Had their uses in the First World War. Because of the pulling power from a standing position, they could pull the guns along roadways, not into the trenches, they get stuck, but they certainly had a lot of power, did splendid work. The trouble is, at the end of that unpleasantness, the government found themselves with 2,000 steam engines they didn't need and didn't want. So they parked them up on Kempton Park Racecourse and sold them off quite cheaply, it is said. Big road loco, this is built in 1928. This is Peter Pan. You can see on the side of that engine the crest. That's the crest of the city of Leeds. Fowler brought so much work and prosperity to the city, they decided he could put one of their crests on his engines. I'm sure he would have preferred the money, but nonetheless, he put the crest on. He probably had to pay for it himself. So those big showmen that it would serve the rides and attractions around the countryside. 6 or 7 trailers behind, living accommodation with the rides of course. And when they got to their new show field, they'd build a ride, pulleys would provide the motive power, and the dynamo on the front would provide the electric for the lights and the music. The last one that actually did that was owned by Pat Collins, legendary Walsall showman. 1957, Birmingham Onion Fair. Then he retired to a great big yard in Bloxwich where he lived, and he had dozens of them. Never asked. General purpose tractors, Garrett built in Leicester, Suffolk. That's the Adventurer. Actually put a Clayton and Shuttleworth engine onto a set of wheels and made it move forward properly. The trouble is, it hadn't got steering, which is a bit of a downside. But it was the start. In 1867, the first steamroller was built, supplying new to the city of Liverpool. 2 years later, the Americans got there and built the roadways in Central Park in New York with 2 engines. Now an engine, a power flying engine, which changed British agriculture and the landscape for good Mr. Leo. Getting to the Dales, not so good. Peak District, forget it. Didn't work. Need to remove the hedges and ditches where you could. And very expensive work. It started to fall out of fashion in the 1970s.